All right, Sunday night, coming to you from my home office. Kind of got this new thing we got going on with me and Craig. Sunday night prep work, get people ready for the week. I've been down in Florida for the last since Thursday. Did something in Gainesville, Florida, Craig, for a construction group. People really need to know. I don't think a lot of people really know what a coach does, or maybe some people don't know what I do. But what I did is spend a whole day with the construction company, teaching in the psychology of prey drive. And it was phenomenal. Like, these are people out in the field, running job sites, superintendents. And I just took the whole book, Prey Drive, broke it down into chapters, and man, they loved it. And then I flew from there over to Watercolor, Florida. Had a day of rejuvenation. And then I spent a morning with one of the top 5 State Farm teams in the country. And we did because goals, we did sewer cycle and success cycle, we did A to B, we did activation of prey drive. I mean, why do you think, Craig, people just don't sometimes understand what a coach really does?
I think it's just they're stuck in the circles that they're with, right? Like, at the end of the day, there's very few people that actually find a coach or even go through that. Most people, the vast majority of people don't play sports or don't take it to another level where, beyond their high school t-ball and whatever that, it's before junior high and high school, right? Like, their parents usually put them into something and they either fall out of it or they fall in love with it, one of the two. But the vast majority of people don't take the next step. And when they're there, they don't value the coach. The coach is just somebody who's like, another parent to them. And so there's someone just telling them what to do. So, like, I think later on in life, as you get to a place where you're like, okay, well, I'm out in the world, I'm producing or I'm not producing, what to do next. And they don't know. They listen, they watch social media, they listen to the news, and they're stuck with all these incoming messages of like what to do. So I truly think people are just stuck by the analysis by paralysis method, right? It's just so much coming at them. And so they're in a state of anxiety and they don't know what to do next. And so frankly, that's what a coach does. It sifts through the nonsense. It helps you get to your results faster because there's a proven track record of success.
Well, I think of a coach. A lot of people get the concept of going to a therapist, right? It's like I go to a therapist, or people go to counselors, and those therapists and counselors give them tools, right, to deal with mental blocks, struggles, challenges, anxiety. Well, a coach, in a similar sense, creates structures. This is why I always say I'm a tool maker. What I really do is give people tools. A to B is a tool. Prey drive is a tool. Selling system is a tool. Follow up and conversion is a tool. Like these are tools that people get. But what's interesting to me is, like, we'll send our kids to get coaching. Well, my daughter's had gymnastics coaches. She's had horseback riding coaches, basketball coaches, soccer coaches. We get the concept of sending our kids to somewhere to train to get better. And then we get to an age as an adult and we're like, man, I'm not getting any better, but I don't want to invest in coaching. And when I started Monster Producer 8 or 9 years ago, I was a corporate coach. Like, that's really all I did. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I started my coaching career by companies hiring me to go in, kind of like a Navy SEAL. I was in charge of revenue. I would come in and try to whip all these people into shape. Some battles I won, some I lost. It was great training, by the way. They typically paid me 6 figures, anywhere between $150,000 and $300,000, or sometimes $350,000. And I would go in and try to take a group of people and get better results out of them. And then somebody said to me one day, how do I get coached by you? Like if I'm an individual and I want coaching. And I said, that's a great question. Why don't we create an individual business growth coaching program, which is why I started Monster Producer. Focuses on growth, monetization.
Yeah, I didn't know that backstory. I knew that you did some of that. I didn't know where the crossover came from, because usually it's enough people will reach out to you and look for that service. And it's like, well, if that's something that the market wants, right? Like anything with a product, you put it out there and you don't know. The market can say we like it or we don't like it. They're the ones that are going to tell you. But yeah, to follow up with what you're saying is, people don't have that as far as like, the next step or the next phone call ready. They have a system that they're working under, a corporation, and it's generally the corporation that's going to try to lead them with the trainer. But if that corporation is not forward thinking, or hiring people like you to come in, it's the same concept of like trying to train your wife, right? You don't train Natalie. I don't train Wendy. There's a big correlation of basically, a separation of like, where your powers can go and who's going to listen versus where they're not. So a lot of times in a corporate environment, they're already seeing these folks that are, in their work office. They know their work ethic. They know if they're good or not. And essentially, they just check out, right? So like you kind of do need an outside counsel, some outside perspective from what you're seeing to give you, the way to see something different than you didn't see before.
If you ask any top person, like just ask the top real estate agents, do they have somebody coaching them? The answer is yes. Ask. I see Jay Cash on here on our monster producer page, who did, I don't know, 25 million, 30 million of production this year. Probably one of the top 5 auctioneers in the country. We've been his coach for 5-6 years now. People all constantly reach out to him and say, man, who's coaching you? Like, how do you get these results? If you ask any top fitness person, industry you came from, they all have coaches. Yeah. If you ask any top, so this concept of coaching, specifically business growth coaching, I always say a good coach is a professional reminder. I coach people every Monday in Monster Producer, 30 minutes every Monday. This week is our second Wednesday of the month. So I coach for 1 hour, what I call the long form version. I bring people together at the lodge. We coach, this month's topic is on expansive mindsets. And I always say you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame.
That's right.
You have too much assumption, too much bias, too much prejudgment. You need a coach, and the coach is going to help remind you should be doing this. You should be prospecting every day for 2 hours. You should be following up 7 to 15 touches. You should be doing videos when you don't feel like it. You should be growing and expanding. Like a good coach is going to create a little bit of tension in your life. And that tension is going to help you go, you know what? I do need to be doing this. I do need to be doing that. So is it ignorance on people's part? Like they think you only go to a coach when something's wrong? Like, does a person reach out to a fitness coach when they say, man, I'm fat and overweight and I need some help? But there's a tier of people who go, you know what? I'm pretty good. I definitely think I can get better. So see, that's the kind of person I'm really looking for right there.
That's a great point. And, it's one of these things, fitness is a real easy way to like make this point. At the end of the day, people that are usually going to reach out to somebody is because they're in a dire state, right? They sign up to a gym because their doctor scared them straight, or somebody, gave them, basically the fear of God that they're going to get ill or they're going to get sick. They just got out of a divorce. I could tell you the 3 people that we see the most is the people that just got out of divorce because now they want to change their body. They want to go back out in the market and they want to change what they have. They just came out of a doctor, and the doctor said, I need to make a change in my health, or they're getting ready for a wedding. Those are the 3 main people that come into the gym all the time, right? So those people have big needs. Other than that, you get so much information coming at you from the internet or from wherever you want to go, and they think they could do it themselves. And so they think that they can heal their own problems, but there's, you can't heal, like you said, you can't see the picture from when you can't solve the problem when you're inside the frame. The same problem exists is that you're still looking with all the things that you currently have. You're still eating the same foods. You're just thinking about it. You're not in action yet, and you're not really taking something to get you at the next result.
And Pray Drive really is action. Like I've studied this concept about as much as anybody on planet Earth. I've spoken on it hundreds of times. It's really instinct to act. It's instinct to take an action. Now, we call this Sunday night prep. If people traveled with me and saw how much time I actually spend planning and thinking, right? I spend probably 3 or 4 hours a day on a Sunday just thinking, mapping out. I spent the whole hour on the flight back today, mapping out the week. I sit down every night and map it out. I write revenue sources. I think hit lists, farm club, top 25, red zone. I'm using our selling system. I'm thinking through new ways to generate revenue. See, to me, when you get there on Monday, that's not a time to plan. I've already planned on the weekend. I've already listened to all my podcasts. I've already thought about through the week. I've already thought about plays we need to make. Like if you come into Monday and you're planning on Monday, I'm already 3 or 4 days ahead of you. I'm running circles around people that come in on Monday not prepared. See, big time people use the weekends to rejuvenate. Okay. That's really one reason we went to Florida. Me and my wife, it's the first time we've been able to spend some time together, just she and I, over a 3 or 4 day cycle. We were able to relax. I got to sleep a lot. I got to actually rest my body because I know what's coming up. Activate this week, getting ready for the big event at Family First, 20,000 people, Lone Depot Stadium in just a few weeks. Launch of the book, the 31st. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. And at the end of the day, I got to rest to gear up to play at such a high level. We're expecting over 800 to 1,000 at the Activate event on Friday. We got Monster Producer kicking up this week. Like, you don't roll into the week and go, what are we going to do this week? And if you're a salesperson out there watching this and you're like, what am I going to do this week? You're already behind. You should have already had your targets mapped out. That's why our coaching program, Monster Producer, is so important, because I'm keeping you in a forward position. I'm keeping you in a forward posture every single week. And just tell people really some of the revelations you had, Craig, from coming and working with us about organization and offense and attacking and everything, work ethic. Sure. I mean, all of those things, because people always ask those questions.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm an alpha. I'm right up there with the best of them. I will rub elbows with the top. I consider myself the top of the food chain, right? However, this was me by myself in my own little land, doing little coaching business, making a little bit of money. I thought I was busy, but I was distracted. And, I thought I was doing the right things, but I had a few problems. I thought I was busy, which I really wasn't. I was just doing distracting activities that were taking me away from making money. And B, I gave a shit about what people thought. And, something that you say a lot is like, the habits of the bulls. They don't care. They're going to call, they're going to do, they're not going to second guess themselves. They're just going to take action. And, over the years, I kind of grabbed an ego, right? Like, that I kind of came in this, I'm on cover of magazines and do all these things. And so like, I thought it was almost beneath me to like reach out to these people. And I was like, they should just be calling me. And so like, I probably sabotaged part of my income over the years from just having a friggin' ego. And so frankly, like working for you, actually coming on in after we had a conversation, some people know the story, some people don't, but Coach had asked me to come on board after I pitched him. He and I kind of connected. He goes to the gym, and I'll give a real small snippet of what happened. He goes to the gym. He handed me some books. And I was like, who's this bald guy? He handed me these books. I don't even know this guy. He goes to the gym here. But I saw his cover on it and I was like, man, I got to go check this guy out. So I started reading him, hit him up on social media. And then one thing led to another. He invited me to actually go watch him speak. And, what was it? Top Golf, right? Top Golf in Nashville and then Nebraska or somewhere else, but he was on his private jet. So we had a chance to connect. And I just saw how this guy's moving and the speed of him executing the movement. He has a meeting here. We jump from the airport to the next place and we're back. And it's like, boom, boom, boom. There's no wasted time. It's like things are stacked like this. And so I was like, holy cow. I was like, this is on another level than I thought I was operating. So, that immediately had my attention. Then, we got to talking and we finally are working together now. And, just seeing him move and seeing him react and seeing him just in motion is something that I was not doing before. So, humbly, I had to say, what, I just was not at my best. And, working underneath him, if I was to just go back to my coaching business, I would double, triple, if not 10x that right now, just with some of the habits that I picked up. And I can easily say that.
Well, I think that's really what we're trying to do for people is more than anything. It's like for your kids, you're trying to model the behavior. You're trying to show them this is a pace to go with. This is an intensity. And until you're in it, you just don't know. And a lot of people think they go at a hard pace until they work with people who go at a harder pace. And there's levels, right? There's levels to all of this. I'm just a big speed to action person. And it may be right, it may be wrong, but I have an idea. We come up with the concept. We package the concept. Literally, I may call you and say, hey, we want a funnel on this. And boom, we got a new program. And we start selling it, right? And that's just the way I think, I think in today's world, you got to be agile. And it's like, this ain't working. Let's move to something else. We don't have time to talk about it. Move to something else. We do this with our success school with Kelly. She and I talk. It's like, hey, man, we need to do it this way. Boom. And by the next week, it's up and doing that. Yeah. So I think what we're trying to teach people is how to activate their drive every day, how to go pro and play at a very high level, how to leave their amateur desires behind with a very special focus on monetization. So speak to how our program, because monster producers this week, I believe everybody should be a monster producer. Business growth, structure, accountability, one-to-one once a quarter, assessments every month. Like this program has just gotten better and better and better. But a lot of it is focused on monetization. Tell people why that's really important, no matter what kind of business they're running.
Look, you need to run a business. I own multiple businesses besides, working with Coach, a gym that I own, a software company that I own, and certain things on the backside. But pretty much my full attention's here on the coaching side of things. It's where I'm passionate, and it's really where I feel like that's where God's given me the impact. But like what you're asking is specifically monetization is what makes everything go around. Once you have money coming in the door, you can breathe a little bit easier knowing I need to invest in the right structures at this point. Do I need to look at hiring more people? Do I need to look at more technical? But when you're coming up from the upside, you're just taking everything, and that may not be the right it. So now you're in hustle mode. Now you're in that, you're grinding, and are you really doing it? You might be able to grab for straws and climb yourself out of a hole. But I wouldn't say that's the right way to tackle business. You shouldn't be reactive. You should be strategic and knowing, what your services offer, who you need to be going after. You mentioned on a weekly rejuvenation. Frankly, you should be looking at every evening before you go to bed, have your notes and know what you're going to do when you wake up. That's what we do in fitness, essentially, is knowing, your clothes are already put out, what time you're going to bed, what time you're getting up, your thing is ready to go. If you don't plan, you're not going to make it. So essentially, money is the thing that makes it all go round. And if you don't focus on that, what are you doing? At the end of the day, you can look at say, what did I do today? If I didn't make money, what did I do?
Well, that's why we give our people tools, level 10 opportunities. We're giving you a planning tool. What's your greatest opportunities available to you right now? We call that a level 10s. And this constantly, because your brain will move to low value activity. Your brain will move to small things. So you got to ask yourself, what's the greatest opportunity available to me right now? That's a level 10. Who are my blue marlin relationships I need to be working? Who's in my red zone I need to convert? Who's in my top 25? What events can I invite people to in the future? And if you just watch what we do, every day we're calling on new money. Every day we're trying to close people in the red zone. Every day we're nurturing the farm club. Every day I'm loving on some of my biggest advocates. Every day I'm planning something to invite people to in the future. Okay. Every day I'm trying to keep people in a forward position. I was prospecting this weekend some people for our couples retreat in March, because we have one couples retreat on the schedule right now in March. And this EXP agent who wants to come was like, hey man, I want to do it. We just can't do it then. And I looked at my wife and I said, okay, here's another day. Will you do this one? And I said, if you give me 2 or 3 couples, I'll put it on the calendar right now and we'll create a product right now. And I'll start with 3 couples in this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a never ending cycle of prospecting, touching people, tagging people, engaging with people. It ultimately leads to monetization. Okay. Where you make money. And I can't tell you how many businesses wake up every day without a focus on making money. That's the purpose of the business.
That's right. Yeah, and I could say I'm guilty of it, frankly. Like I said, in that time frame where I was, having this business or that business, I'm thinking about this one, not doing something here. If I just focused on even, putting little time blocks together and say, I'm going to go hard and prospect in this business. I'm going to hire the right person to do something in this business. You know what I mean? Like there's always a next right step, and you got to find out just what that is. And a lot of times you just don't know what to do because you have all the things. Well, all the things need to get done over time. You need to find out what is the right next thing you need to do today, right now. What is the first thing that you can do that's going to cause you to basically have more money or more opportunity? And I would say one thing that we glossed over, which is something big that I've taken away from just working with you, is the who, not the how. That's a concept that nobody, really pushes out there. It's the people that will help bring the business to you, making relationships and partnerships. Like, when I was a mortgage broker way back in the day, the woman in the mortgage office who was the best, she was my age, but she had the referrals and she crushed it. And like, she was like 3x everybody else in the office because she just had a steady flow of referrals. And so if you don't have that in your business, have people sending you business, or you strategically doing a Zoom like this or some kind of other live event with somebody to get in front of somebody who might be your customer, you're missing the boat.
Right. Yep. Well, and everybody needs to be doing it. I need to be doing it more, just explaining what I do. I know people see me moving and circulating, and some people just don't know. Like, those people at the gym that I work out with every week had no idea what I do. And some of that's by design, because I don't talk a lot there. I'm just going to work out. I don't promote what I do. But nonetheless, some of those people could have been clients. Some of those people end up coming to boot camp. Some of those people buy a book. So I think everybody needs to understand this, and I'll close on this tonight, is educate people on what you do. Explain to people what you do, because people see you and they're like, I don't know what he does. I know he's doing things. I know he's moving. I know he's creating. I know he writes books, but they don't really know. I think over my career, I could have done a much better job explaining what a coach does, which is now when I go speak, this is what I did with that team. This is what the result is. This is what I'm doing this Friday. Activate boot camp, 10 to 4. It's completely free. I've been posting in the links. I'm going to teach you the psychology of prey drive. I'm going to teach you everything I know about activating the prey drive in people, something I've studied. I've done all the homework. I've read all the studies. I've broken it down to a book. I'm going to break it down. It's going to be great. It's probably going to be 800 to 1,000 people online. There's going to be 100 plus people at the lodge. If you want to come to the lodge, it's completely free. Come out there, bring your teams, bring your spouse, bring anybody that needs to activate their prey drive, because to me, nothing happens until the prey drive is activated. Now, on the coaching program, I really want to encourage you, if you're not in a coaching program, you need to be in a coaching program, because you need somebody growing you and developing you. You need to be in a dynamic network of people. Okay. But big takeaway for me tonight, just get out there and explain to people what you do so they can understand it. Craig finishes up tonight. Then I'm going to bed because I got a 5 a.m. workout.
Well, let me ask you one thing before we go. I'm not gonna let you get off the hook that easy. What do you say to the people that, feel like they hear this prey drive concept and they feel like, they just don't need a cheerleader in the background? Help them understand, because at the end of the day, even the people that are in our network, maybe that were in Monster Producer before, there's a new Monster Producer coming out. You guys don't know about that. We're going to tell you guys a little bit more about that. But talk to the naysayers, or the people that are, pushing coaching aside or saying they don't need it. What would you ask them if you were in the room or actually interviewing that person right now? I know you're going to go through a sequence of questions, but what do you say to the people that
I first ask a simple question, and people may think this is silly, is I ask, are you making $1 million of personal income? And if you're not making $1 million of personal income, then I believe you have something to learn from somebody who does make over $1 million of personal income. Doesn't make them smarter than you, just means they know something you don't know. So my litmus test for a lot of business people is, because I'm about to get in a coaching program. I think I mentioned to people, most people know that we did, 5.5 million, somewhere between $5.5 million of revenue last year. But man, I'm going to go be in a coaching program with people that are doing 55 million. So I'm humble. I'm totally humble when it comes to where my place in the world is, right? I know I'm doing better than some people, but I'm doing worse than some people. And so I think to the naysayer, what could you learn is a strategy, a tool, a better life, a better way to do something. But it all starts with being having a teachable spirit, and knowing that you can learn anything from anybody at any time. Okay. It's not about the money, but that's a litmus test. Earn $1 million of personal income. And would you like, is your business set up to do what it's supposed to? Would you like to get more focused and clarity? Do you need structures to help you grow? See, these are questions I ask people, and they're like, man, and people say, no, I got this. Oh, that could be telling me they've got a fixed mindset. And I can't really help a person who has a fixed mindset. I could tell you all day long, Craig, I can work out on my own. I can go to Planet Fitness. I could pay $10. The truth is, I do go to Planet Fitness sometimes, and it's a half-assed workout. I burn some calories. I leave there going, at least I got in the gym, but it's not structured, and it's not really going to get results. And the faster you be honest with yourself about that, the faster you're going to get better.
That's right. I always like to think of this, and I know we got to wrap this up, but you take a look at where you've been, right? It's always good to see what you've done well. Look at the last 90 days and kind of look at the things that you found fulfillment in, or you found great. And then you say, I want to do more of that. How can I get more of that? But essentially, as you're looking backwards, you also have to look forward and say, okay, what is it that I want for my future? We did an assessment on Monster Producer a week or two ago, and we kind of broke it down. So it's there's not too many people that I know that are actually going through that. I talk to the people at the gym or just, just what levels that you're at, and people are just kind of just in mode. So it's like, if you want more, if you're in a place where you're like, you envy something else that's out there, why? Get it. It's yours. People are getting it all the time. Why can't you? I think people just aren't in belief right now. And that's kind of where I come in as far as like changing this. It's the mental roadblock that you currently have.
Well, I told you guys today one of the revelations I had in Florida is, man, I'm tired of talking about all these other people. I like all of them. Some of them are nice. Some of them are full of BS. Some of the people you guys watch and study. And I could tell you who's full of it and who's not, because I've been around all of them. But I'm tired of talking about them. I'm not even going to talk about them. Okay. I'm ready to be one of them. I'm tired of emulating people. I'm ready to be one of those people that other people emulate. Okay. I paid my dues. I've been around it. I've been, at some point you got to make a decision that you're not going to hero worship other people, and you're going to friggin' become the person. You're going to become the man or the woman. And that's kind of a decision I made over the weekend. It's like, man, I'm tired of messing with you guys. Okay. I don't need you. I'm just frustrated with a lot of them because they tell you one thing, they don't support you. They don't really want to help people. They do, as long as it's convenient to them. And I'm over it, man. So I'm going to become one of those people. And I was seeing somebody that was promoting some people that were speaking at an upcoming conference, and I said, man, all due respect, I'm gonna run circles around those people that you're promoting. I mean, circles around them. Okay. And I'm excited about running circles because you're kind of putting them up on a pedestal, and you're kind of saying, I'm not at that level, but I will show you at that conference who is more skilled. Okay. I kind of take it as a challenge because I think it's fun. It kind of activates my pre-drive.
That's it. And
all right.
That's it. I'll let you
all right, guys. Love you guys. Everybody needs a coach in life. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sunday night prep work with Coach Burt. Get your tickets to Activate. It's completely free. It's this Friday. 1,000 people are going to be there. 100 something people. Daniel Hodges is going to be there. Hopefully Jay Cash is going to be there. A lot of people that are online. I want to see you in person at that lodge. It's going to be an incredible event. You will leave with the tools to activate your prey drive all the time. Have a good evening.